The sun was just rising over the wide farmlands of Cedar Creek, painting the fields gold as Emma worked beside her twin sister Lily. The two looked almost identical, same brown hair, same sharp green eyes, same stubborn determination, but their lives couldn't have been more different. Lily loved the farm, the smell of hay, the sound of chickens, the quiet life of tending to crops. Emma, on the other hand, had left years ago, vanishing into the shadows of military life, where she rose to become one of the most decorated members of Delta Force. Few even knew her name, and fewer knew the legend whispered among soldiers. The Phantom Valkyrie. The woman who completed impossible missions and never left a man behind. To the small-town bullies, however, none of that mattered, because they didn't know Emma existed. They only knew Lily, the farm girl who kept to herself and rarely fought back. That morning, as Lily carried buckets of water from the well, 3 local troublemakers, Tyler, Brent and Cody, pulled up in their rusty truck, sneers plastered across their faces. For years they had picked on Lily, mocking her quiet nature, kicking over her market stand, and trying to intimidate her into giving up the best spots in town fairs. Lily never fought back. She didn't like violence. And she didn't have her sister's warrior spirit. But this time, things were about to change. Because Emma had returned home for the first time in years, quietly slipping back into her old life without anyone noticing. When she saw the truck approaching her twin, Emma's instincts sharpened like a blade. The bullies thought they were about to have another easy day of pushing the farm girl around. What they didn't know was that they had picked the wrong twin. Tyler jumped out first, swaggering as if he owned the land. He smirked and kicked the dirt toward Lily. Still playing farmer, huh? Thought you'd have learned your place by now. Brent snatched the water bucket, dumping it to the ground with a laugh, while Cody circled like a hyena, waiting for a signal. Lily froze, clutching her apron, her cheeks turning red with humiliation. But before she could say a word, another figure stepped out of the barn's shadow. Emma, taller, sharper, her posture radiating authority forged from battlefields around the world. Her presence hit the bullies like a wave, though they didn't realize who she was. To them, she looked like Lily, only stronger, colder, and terrifyingly calm. "Put the bucket back," Emma said, her voice even, but carrying the kind of weight that made hardened soldiers freeze. Tyler snorted. "Or what? You gonna cry?" He stepped closer, towering over her in arrogance, but in that instant, Emma's eyes flickered. A silent calculation, assessing his stance, his balance, his weakness. Before Tyler knew what happened, Emma twisted his wrist, yanked him down, and planted him face first into the dirt with military precision. The others stumbled back in shock. Lily gasped. Her sister moved like lightning, fluid and unstoppable. Brent swung a wild punch. But Emma sidestepped effortlessly, grabbing his arm and spinning him into Cody, sending both tumbling like rag dolls. The bullies scrambled, coughing, eyes wide in disbelief. "Who the hell are you?" Cody stammered. Emma's lips curled into the faintest smile. The wrong twin. By the time the dust settled, the 3 bullies had crawled back into their truck. 2 days to fight back. Emma stood tall, her chest heaving, the warrior in her still awake, while Lily stared in awe. She had always known Emma was different. But seeing her in action was like watching a storm tear through the sky. For years, Lily had endured the cruelty of men who thought she was weak, but now, with Emma by her side, the game had changed forever. And that was only the beginning. Because the bullies weren't just going to lick their wounds and disappear. They would return, angrier, plotting revenge. What they didn't realize was that every time they came back, they weren't facing Lily anymore. They were facing a Delta Force legend who had fought terrorists, infiltrated enemy compounds, and survived battles that would break most men. Against Emma, the farm girl's tormentors didn't stand a chance.